We've got 4 lights and 5 lights for the Chinese Grand Prix, and away we go from 5th position on the grid, and Lewis Hamilton's got a puncture off the line. Just everybody getting caught up in it, including Kimi Räikkönen, so his poor qualifying was punished. And then Daniel Kvyat's out of the race, and there's a Lotus which has just gone through Kvyat, and I have no idea what Lewis Hamilton is doing at this stage whatsoever, or Kimi Räikkönen. And anyway, there's Ricciardo, and I don't know what's happened to Vettel either. We've bumped into the back of him. It's an incredibly messy start to this Grand Prix.
Okay, Max, that is P1. Very well done. Just keep doing what you're doing.
We can hardly control the car because it's time for the wet tyres, but nonetheless, we have taken P2 in the Chinese Grand Prix. What a race! What's up guys, and welcome to part number 4 and round number 4 of the F1 2015 Road to Red Bull. It's time for the Bahrain Grand Prix, but before we get into normal proceedings today, I just wanted to take this opportunity to send my condolences and best wishes to the family and friends of Justin Wilson. If you don't know, then the British IndyCar driver, Justin Wilson, sadly passed away this morning after having an accident at the Pocono Raceway, I believe, at the weekend in the IndyCar, and it's just incredibly sad to see another driver, you know, succumb to a head injury. And like I say, my thoughts are with Justin's family and friends, but I thought I'd just take this opportunity to do this at the start of the video, and then we're just going to get into normal proceedings. I'm going to try and do my job on YouTube, and you know, we're just going to race in the memory of Justin Wilson and do what he would have wanted us to do and just get into the racing action. So rest in peace, Justin, and now we're going to get into the racing action. So qualifying was about to get underway in the desert, and the hour lying ahead would see who would claim pole for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Forecast to be sunny intervals throughout the course of the session, but it wasn't a good session for Pastor Maldonado in Q1. Once again, he was eliminated at the first hurdle and could only manage 18th fastest in the session. Daniel Kvyat was also eliminated from Q1, the Red Bull driver only managing 16th place, which wouldn't be enough to see him through to the next session. Jenson Button, however, managed to find some pace in his McLaren Honda. He managed 14th, and his teammate Alonso also managed to get through Q1. But Sergio Perez, Button's former McLaren teammate, could not manage to get through Q1. It was a bad session for Force India, with Perez only getting 17th. But Verstappen, though, he managed to get through Q1 on a circuit dominated by straights, which didn't suit the Renault engine, but he did manage to get through Q1 very easily. Now you can see Perez, Kvyat, Maldonado, Stevens and Murray were all eliminated at the first hurdle, with Stevens unable to repeat his heroics of China once again. Daniel Ricciardo, though, he was eliminated in Q2 once again and could only manage 11th place in the session, so a poor afternoon all in all from Red Bull, and he'd be lining up on the 6th row of the grid alongside Marcus Ericsson in the Sauber, who managed 12th position and couldn't get out of Q2. But Romain Grosjean, he could get out of Q2. He managed 9th in his Lotus, so it wasn't all bad in the Lotus garage, at least on the Grosjean side. And Max Verstappen, he managed to get through Q2 also, and like I say, this circuit really doesn't suit the Renault engine, but he managed to get through alongside his teammate into Q3. Ricciardo, Ericsson, Nasser, Alonso and Button were all eliminated, with Jenson Button taking a strange decision to go onto the prime tyres, which left him well off the pace. But Q3 was all about Kimi Räikkönen. He managed to get his first pole of the season and kept Nico Rosberg off pole for the first time all year. His teammate, though, Lewis Hamilton, or Rosberg's teammate Lewis Hamilton, could only manage 3rd and was once again out-qualified by his teammate Rosberg, so he'd have to improve as the season goes on. But Nico Hülkenberg managed to significantly out-qualify his teammate Sergio Perez and managed 8th position in the Force India. Carlos Sainz, though, he was out-qualified by his teammate Verstappen and could only manage 10th in Q3, so a difficult session for the Spaniard. But here you can see Verstappen, where would he end up on the grid for Sunday's race? You can see him here coming across the line to start his final lap, and coming towards the end of the first sector, he was in fact one of the first drivers to set a time in the session. And rather than the last few races where he's decided to go out at the end of the session, Verstappen took the decision to go out at the start of Q3. Managed a 134.5, which wasn't great, but here you can see the starting grid for Sunday's race. Sainz and Grosjean will be occupying row 5, with Hülkenberg and Verstappen on row 4. You can see Verstappen managing 7th place It was an all-Williams row 3 with Massa lining up alongside Bottas, with Vettel and Hamilton occupying row 2, and Nico Rosberg and Kimi Räikkönen would be starting on the front row for the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Okay Max, tyre wear management is going to be crucial this evening. Make sure you go easy on them and we should be looking at a good result.
Yeah, there you can hear on the team radio, it's going to be tyre wear that's crucial this afternoon, or this evening should I say, for the Bahrain Grand Prix. There you can see Kimi Räikkönen, who will be incredibly pleased with his pole position for this evening's race. You can see him there talking to the media. But yeah, like I say, tyre wear is going to be critical, so I think it's going to be a 2-stop race this afternoon if we're going to be careful enough on our tyres. And yes, there you can see confirmed. Option prime is what the team want us to do this evening. So starting from P7, there's a lot of things we can do in this evening's race. And now you can see we're here revving up to the 5 red lights, going down to the lean mix to minimise the wheel spin, and it's lights out, and away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix, getting a bit of wheel spin still off the start and getting mugged left, right and centre, already down into P10. And now you can see our teammates already ahead of us, and Ericsson's taking a look down the inside. But crucially, we are still ahead of Daniel Ricciardo at the moment. So if we can get ahead of our teammate, then we will be the leading Red Bull driver. So both of the Toro Rossos currently ahead of both of the Red Bulls. But now you can see Maldonado going down the inside of Ericsson. But Ericsson squeezed him out there. And I think Maldonado is round. Yes, he is. We're back up into P10. So that's good for us. And our teammate's up in P9. But, well, that is an awful look from Pastor Maldonado. We'll take a look at a replay at that in a minute. But coming towards the end of the, coming midway through the first lap of the race. And you can see that Sainz has managed to pull a little bit of a gap ahead of us. Getting that bad start has really hindered us in the opening stages. But now getting a replay of the start of the race. And there you can see that, well, it looks as if Räikkönen got a pretty good start. But no, he got passed by Nico Rosberg, in fact, off the line, I think. Rosberg took the inside line. There you can see us struggling to get traction off the line and getting passed by pretty much everyone. And we were too busy being preoccupied by Marcus Ericsson, and then we got passed by Pastor Maldonado, who then takes a look down the inside of Marcus Ericsson. Ericsson shuts the door on him, and Maldonado is just completely round, so that's awful luck for the Lotus driver. And now we'll take a look on board with Maldonado, and you can see him coming down here. He's got a lot more speed than us, obviously, with the Mercedes engine in the back. And coming down there, oh, he just gets turned in on by Ericsson. I wouldn't be surprised if Ericsson does get a penalty coming his way. But there you can see Maldonado just filtering back in about 17th or 18th position, I believe. So that's awful luck for him. But Verstappen now coming towards the end of lap 2. He's closed up to his teammate. And now is maybe time to make a move for 9th position. He's still got Marcus Ericsson reasonably close behind, but he has managed to pull a little bit of a gap, and now he's getting closer and closer to his teammate. Nice move down the inside. It should come off. Oh no, Sainz has gone wide, so yes, that is going to be an easy position for Verstappen. No DRS as of yet hasn't been activated at that point, but going down into turn 1, you can just see that Verstappen gets the move done on his teammate. So up into P9, showing who is the #1 driver at Toro Rosso. And or at least in this early stage of the season. But that was pretty much it for the first stint. You can see him there running wide at the end of lap 7. But just the tyres are just going off at this stage. And there's Nico Hülkenberg in the pit lane. Let's see what the team have got to say about that and whether they want us to do anything.
Right, let's push now, Max. Come on. Hülkenberg has just pitted.
Well, yeah, there you can hear that they want us to push for the next lap or two. It's currently lap 8, so it will be interesting to just see how far Verstappen will be able to take these tyres. But is he coming into the pits? Yes, he is. So that's an early stop for a 2-stop race. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the race pans out. But Verstappen in the pit lane for the first time this afternoon. And if he does maybe 9 or 10 laps on this next set of options, what you've got to remember is that first set of options is being taken on the heaviest fuel load, and it's also done a lap in qualifying in Q2. So it's already done 9 laps on heavy fuel. So if you can take these tyres another 9 or 10 laps, then he should be able to pull off the 2-stop. But there you can see Hülkenberg's jumped him. So that is not good for Verstappen, but I'm sure he'll be able to get the position back before too long. And there you can see coming through the first complex of corners. And he's actually quite a way behind Hülkenberg, but Come the end of lap 9, he's closed the gap a little bit, and there's a lot more cars in the pit lane now. So Verstappen's still trying to get that undercut, even though he came in a lap later than Hülkenberg. And there's Romain Grosjean, who was in 7th position. So he has managed to close right up to Nico Hülkenberg and ourselves as well. So maybe P7 is going to be on the cards this afternoon. It was going to be a difficult ask, but it's definitely not out of reach. And there you can see coming through the first sector, getting a pretty decent first sector in actually, and now he's closed the gap to just about a second to Nico Hülkenberg as Verstappen. So like I say, P7 definitely on the cards, and coming towards the end of lap 12, you can just see the gap is slowly closing up at this rate, and he should be within DRS range before too long. And now team radio.
You might want to think about turning the fuel down in the next lap or so, Max. We're running very low on fuel.
Yeah, you can see he's just ticked onto optimal there, and you may have seen that Verstappen's actually moved into P8, and that is because Sebastian Vettel has retired from the race, so he's had a mechanical failure, and now he sent his P7. He's closed up a lot to Nico Hülkenberg through that left-hander, and is he maybe going to go around the outside through this complex of corners? Now he's going to try run around the outside. Hülkenberg also on the option tyres, so it's no give and move, and he's gone around the outside. Fantastic stuff from Max Verstappen. The 17-year-old gets the position on Hülkenberg, the experienced German. And now we're going to take a look on the replay. You can just see here going round the outside makes it look so easy. A fantastic move, reminiscent of the one on Valtteri Bottas in Malaysia. A ballsy move round the outside. Fantastic stuff, keeps it within the track limits and up into P7 ahead of Hülkenberg. And come lap 14, I think Hülkenberg's now going to come into the pits. You can just see on the mini-map there, yes he does. So now Daniel Kvyat is up into P8, so we've got to look out for him in the Red Bull. Well, technically it is a superior car to what we've got. So coming towards the end of lap 16 and towards the start of lap 17, you can see Kvyat is definitely going to take a look going into turn 1. Is he's going to have the DRS? But no, he doesn't make any sort of move. Now we've got to really see how good Verstappen's defending is. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting part of the race. You can see Grosjean has actually pulled a little bit of a gap up ahead. And just look at the tyre gauge. The tyres are absolutely shot at this stage. And they have done 9 laps, I believe, at this stage. So, just about time for a pit stop, I think. And will he be able to go 12 laps at the end of the race? Well, he's going to have to, because there's no way he's going to get any more life out of these option tyres. So, he comes into the pit lane. And this should be Verstappen's final stop of the afternoon. The Toro Rosso guys are surely pretty happy with what they've been seeing so far from the 17-year-old. So he comes into the pits to fit the prime tyres for the first time this afternoon. And the only time, hopefully, that he's going to be running these prime tyres. So he's just behind Jenson Button. Now you can see Hülkenberg coming through. So Hülkenberg is ahead of Verstappen on the mini-map. And that means he's up into P15. And Verstappen is down into 16. But that should go up in the not too distant future, because both Hülkenberg and Verstappen trying to get the undercut on the cars ahead, so they should go up in the positions before not too long. And they can see that, yes, at the end of lap 18, Verstappen making up a lot of positions, including one on his teammate who hasn't had a good afternoon. But coming down into turn 1, there's Daniel Ricciardo. So is Verstappen going to be able to get ahead of him? Yes, he is. And he's got ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. That could be a crucial move in the grand scheme of things. And now Grosjean is just ahead. So he's in P7. And I think Nico, I'm not sure what's happened to Nico Hülkenberg. He might be up into P6. But you can just see at this stage of the race, we're closing up further and further to Romain Grosjean. And before long, we are now up down to 1 second. Hülkenberg's pitted, so he was in P6, but he's gone on the 3-stop strategy. Are we going to make a move on Romain Grosjean going into turn 1? Are we going to outbrake him? I don't think we are. No, we're not. But we are within DRS range, which is vital. And fuel is looking a little bit critical at the moment, so that will be an interesting one to keep an eye on as the race develops. But now coming on to the end of lap 22, surely it's going to be an easy move on Grosjean, even though he's got that engine, the Mercedes engine in the back. The Renault engine has outpowered a Mercedes. Wow, did I think I'd see the day? No, I did not. But coming down into turn 1, Verstappen gets the move done at 4P6, and Massa is the next car up ahead. He's a long way ahead, but there you can see the move on Grosjean. A very, very good move, even though it was DRS assisted. He got a good run out of the final corner. So, Yeah, Verstappen up into P6, pretty much as high as he's going to get this afternoon. And skipping on to lap 25, fuel is looking marginal at the moment, so he's going to have to save it. And now Grosjean has got the inside line, so Verstappen doesn't like that. He's going to try and take the inside line. They're swapping all over the place, and Verstappen does get the inside. He's going to make the apex first, and he maintains P6. No, he doesn't. And I just don't know what's happened there. Grosjean, there's yellow flags. And I think Grosjean and Ricciardo may have touched. So we're going to take a replay of this now. You can just see, look at this. Grosjean takes the inside, and then Verstappen saying, no, I'm not having any of that, and sweeps to the inside. Fantastic racing. I really am loving this at the Bahrain Grand Prix. And there you can see, coming through turn 1, yes, Grosjean gets stuck on Daniel Ricciardo. So I'm not sure who came off worse there. You can see Ricciardo coming through into turn 1. He was fancying a look at, oh my word, he was taking a look at Grosjean, and then he just got stuck, and now he's spun round. That is awful luck from Ricciardo, but he does manage to get back going in 8th place once again. And coming towards the end of lap 26, and there is Grosjean right on the gearbox of Verstappen. So I'd imagine Ricciardo will probably catch up before too long. But coming to the start-finish line now, surely Grosjean is going to take another look down the inside of Verstappen, this time taking the assertive inside line, let's say. And Grosjean's going to have to go around the outside if he's going to make the move stick, and I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. He runs wide, and maintaining P6 is Verstappen. So fantastic racing from Verstappen once again, and now towards the end of lap 27, Grosjean's got a fantastic run this time. Surely Verstappen is going to be helpless on the move, and he's going to go around the outside. And, well, going now into turn 1, he doesn't seem to be gaining that much. Verstappen tries to squeeze him out, and Grosjean once again runs wide into turn 1. The AI looking as if they are running wide all over the place through that turn 1.
Okay, the fuel is now critical. Lift and coast when possible.
Yes, there you can hear on the team radio, fuel is looking marginal, but at the moment, it's the battling with Roman Grosjean that has surely got the Toro Rosso guys worried. He nearly made contact with Grosjean, and coming onto the final lap of the Grand Prix now, is it going to be enough to get P6? Grosjean goes down the inside this time, surely he's going to get the move done. And no, is Verstappen going to be able to hold it round the outside and then get the inside for turn 2? Yes, he does. This is just fantastic racing. I am loving every second of this. And just looking at a replay now of this move, and you can just see that Grosjean goes to the inside very early on. Verstappen not wise to the move. You can see he slightly went to the inside, but Grosjean claimed that inside line. But then he just got up on the curve too much. So unfortunate for him it was, but now you can see Lewis Hamilton has won the race, and skipping towards the end of lap 29, Verstappen going incredibly defensive. He's in lean mix just to try and save enough fuel to get to the end of the race, but just look at the run Grosjean's got off that corner in the mirrors. You can see him, and he's made a move down the inside into the double left-hander. He's locked up. Has he outbraked himself? Yes, he has, and Verstappen's back up into P6, but he just hasn't got the engine power, I don't think. Half a lap to go. Is Verstappen going to be able to get that P6 back off Grosjean? Braking now into the left-hander, the sweeping left-hander, and he's right in Grosjean's gearbox, so he has got the pace to get past, but has he got the time? He's had to go up into rich mix, so is he going to run out of fuel is the question. But coming towards the penultimate corner, and Verstappen, oh no, he doesn't quite get a good run off there. I think the tyres are just going from him now. Kvyat's behind him, so he's got to be wary of that as well. But going into the final corner, he's closing and closing. One more DRS zone, and I think he would have got Grosjean. But unfortunately, there is no DRS. And coming to the line, he's run out of fuel. Surely Kvyat isn't going to get him. Chugging to the line, and oh no, Kvyat's got him on the line.
Unlucky there, Max. Great effort today, but still some very good points for the team.
Well, surely there are some incredibly disappointed faces down at Toro Rosso. There you can see the kamikaze move that Grosjean pulled on the final lap of the Grand Prix. We just didn't manage to get good enough traction out of that corner, which saw Grosjean come past us. But going on to the race classification now, you can see that Hamilton took the victory from Nico Rosberg, with Kimi Räikkönen, the pole sitter, only managing third. And Daniel Kvyat, for the first time this season, was the highest placed Red Bull and Toro Rosso driver. So Verstappen, the second place Red Bull Academy driver, with managing to outrace Ricciardo, who could only get 9th place, with Carlos Sainz not managing to get any points this afternoon. He could only get 12th position. And going on to the Drivers' Championship, we moved down into 7th place, but we're still ahead of Daniel Kvyat, so the 2nd place Red Bull Academy driver still in this championship, with Daniel Ricciardo up in 5th position. And Nico Rosberg currently leads the way, with Mercedes leading the way now in the Constructors' Championship. We stay in P5, which is looking as if it could be the same for the rest of the season. Only Man and Marussia, I believe, yet to get off the mark in the Constructors' Championship, but they can see us climbing out of the car at the end of the Grand Prix, looking very disappointed and dejected at the end. But now you can see the head-to-head screen is looking slightly different. So what we've got on the right-hand side of the screen, on the left-hand side of the right-hand side of the screen, if that makes any sense at all, you've got Daniel Ricciardo's stats, and then on the right-hand side of the screen, you've got Daniel Kvyat's stats. So as you can see, in the outrace category, Kvyat has got his first point to his name, so it's currently 2 to Daniel Ricciardo, meaning he is leading that category. We've out-qualified the Red Bull guys 3 times to just 1 point, so that's looking good for us. Fastest laps wise, Ricciardo managed to get the fastest lap of today's race, which means it's 2-all in that category, with Kvyat yet to get off the mark. But we do still have the only podium in the Red Bull Academy, meaning it's 1-0 to us. And World Championship points wise, we're just stuck in the middle of Ricciardo and Kvyat. We are closer to Ricciardo though than we are to Kvyat, which is looking good. But yeah, that just about caps it off for today's episode, guys. Make sure to leave a like down below. 150 likes would be fantastic as usual. But yeah, until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.